Doug MacGregor is a retired Army Colonel and former senior advisor to the Secretary of Defense. He joins us tonight because he is the one man who can answer the question, who should have known better? Doug, thanks so much for coming on tonight. You have called for withdrawal from Afghanistan for a long time. You gave the previous administration a detailed plan for how to do that without the results that we're seeing today. What did our government just do that we should not have done?
Well, I think there are three things that we have to take into consideration. First, of course, is that there was never an exit strategy, no glide path out of Afghanistan. When I was in the Pentagon, the only thing I could find out was there was an intention to stay indefinitely for some of the reasons that you outlined in your opening remarks. Lots of people were benefiting, not the American people and certainly not our soldiers and Marines, but there was no glide path out of the place. Secondly, we have these toxic senior military leaders. Toxic because they simply don't tell the truth. And for 20 years, they have been lying, frankly, to the American people, to soldiers and Marines who were doing the fighting, telling them that things were getting better, that we were making progress, when the truth was we weren't. And the soldiers and Marines can't be blamed for that. They fought very well, let there be no mistake about it. But the generals have done a terrible job. And that's obvious from what you're seeing on the ground right now, the chaos, no planning, no preparation, awful. I can't think of anything worse. And then finally, we went in, we said we were going to fight terrorism. As you pointed out, that was over quite quickly. There was no reason to make war on the Taliban, had no role in 9/11. We were there for al-Qaeda only. Al-Qaeda escaped through the incompetence of Tommy Franks and others. But effectively, we had pushed them out of Afghanistan, and we should have left. We didn't do that. And so what have we got now? We don't have democracy. We haven't defeated terrorism per se. We've probably created some new ones. We have the largest narco state in the world that is now falling into the hands of new criminals and new terrorists.
All of that is depressing to hear and I think verifiably true. But I want to go to the very first point that you made, that after 20 years, there was no specific plan to leave. There was no, as you put it, glide path. How can that be?
Well, when we first went into Iraq, there was an argument between Rumsfeld and some others in his office. And finally, Paul Wolfowitz interjected and said, look, we just want to get the Army into Iraq. I think there were a lot of people that decided they just wanted to get the military into these places and that somehow or another we would muddle through, that things would improve. You know, it can be said that a generation ends when its illusions are exhausted. I think it was Arthur Miller that said that. What you're seeing now on the television, this mass chaos, this dissolution, is really the end of the illusions that began long ago in the aftermath of Desert Storm with Madeleine Albright and her successors. Why aren't we using the Army, she said to General Colin Powell. You keep talking about how good it is, let's use it. He obviously was not excited about seeing it employed for reasons other than fighting. Well, we've employed it and the Marine Corps all over the Middle East. And what have we created? Chaos. What have we established that's in the interest of the American people? Nothing.
They're reckless children. You've confirmed it again. Colonel Douglas MacGregor, I appreciate your coming on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.